have never known my life without music in it. There has always been music, no matter what. So allow me a few moments here on the stage to tell you about the soundtrack of my life. First, music was love. My first memories of music are in my mother's kitchen, when I'm hearing the dulcet tones of accordions, washboards, and harmonicas, and buckwheat zydeco playing jambalaya while the same dish was cooking on the stove. Pastures of Plenty and Mary Hamilton were gentle lessons to me, and I dreamed of angels from Montgomery and the city of New Orleans. Then music was joy. My mother will happily tell you about how I would crawl across the house because I heard the Sesame Street theme song coming on, and would later run across the house because Cyndi Lauper's Time Time song was playing on MTV. I was 4, okay? You all know which song it is. Then music was life. The first music that I remember giving me goosebumps was the monk-like chants that play while Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader have their last lightsaber fight. I would listen to Mamo play guitar to me, and I would plink out songs on a keyboard or on a piano, whatever piano I could find, until I plinked them on the exact right piano to get me a piano and piano lessons. And then oboe and oboe lessons and bassoon lessons. And finally, in the band room, I felt like I belonged somewhere. During high school, my heart found time with drum cadence and drum beats. And it was amazing. Then music became study. I got into college. Playing the bassoon. The bassoon, I discovered, was not just a bass instrument. It heralded the rites of spring and could bring about the awe of the great gates of Kiev. I lived, breathed, and ate every kind of music there was in that school. I absorbed it and was a part of it, and it was me. And I was finally getting to be the person that I wanted to be. Then, like for many, music was romance. I wanted to be the women that Jimi Hendrix and Billy Joel sung about in Little Wing and She's Always a Woman. The boys played me Ocean Avenue and Kiss from a Rose. And I remember the night that we played Hey There Delilah over and over and over and over again in your car. And I wish I had said something different. I wish I'd had the courage to ask you how different our lives might be now. Inevitably, music became pain. I remember a whole month where the only thing I could listen to was David Bowie's Ashes to Ashes. I remember just trying to siphon out all of the rage and angst in my body into Linkin Park and Metallica, and trying to figure out what I was doing with my life. And music became a prison. Bassoons aren't really common instruments. And when you're playing a bassoon, a lot of smaller groups will want you to play with them. But what no one knew, what I didn't know, was my sensory issues that I had pressed down over the years were finally coming back to haunt me. Walking into rehearsal spaces began to feel like walking into torture chambers. And every single time I heard a trumpet scream, all I could think was, make it stop, make it stop, make it stop! So I had to go. Inevitably, probably for the best, music like a boomerang came back to me. At my darkest points, at my darkest hours, I found new artists. I found new songs. I found the song Sober, which helped me immensely in my therapy. I found Stay Calm, which was my mantra when I had my 2 surgeries in the past 5 years. I found Achilles that finally let out parts of me that I had never allowed to speak in my entire 42 years. I found new beats, new songs, new things to hear, and I finally started looking around and realizing that this was my life and that I was doing just fine. That working in the music library, I was working with music students. I know this life. I know what this is. I know the things to say. I know what to do to help people when they're in the midst of their own musical crises, in the midst of their own musical things, and even when life is driving them down and trying to make them believe that they can't do it, I'm always there saying, no, you can, if you want to. I will be here and cheering you along as much as possible, only if you want to. Because I know what it's like when this starts to feel like a prison. Last but not least, probably, is the one song that I should always end this with. When I still sit in some kind of existential, what in the world am I doing? And I turn on the car and the radio plays. I hear Memo singing, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you just might find you get what you need.